Hi everyone, I'm Natalie. I usually teach you handstands. Today I'm going to teach you how to do a cartwheel. Doing a cartwheel is actually relatively difficult, I find. I really recommend that you work on your handstand as well, which will hugely help you towards the cartwheel. I have a 30-day course. There's a link in the description below. Let's get started with the cartwheel. Here we go, exercise number 1. I find it very useful to imagine like a geometry on the floor that helps me figure out where my hands and feet have to go in any kind of acrobatic move. So we have a box exercise for the cartwheel. We've got a square box on the floor. You can use your yoga mat or anything else for reference, but it's just literally a square on the floor. Your feet are always going to go on this side, feet facing front. Your hands are only ever going to go on the sides, fingers facing outwards. So all we're going to do is kind of like a mini cartwheel thing with bent legs, making sure that our feet end there. We will put the left hand on the floor first, then the right hand, not both at the same time. Left hand, right hand. Let me show you what that looks like. So what we're going to do is this. And land here. It's simple, but there are 4 limbs to sort out, so it gets complicated. We want to start left, right, and then again step, step. It's always hand, hand, foot, foot, hand, hand, foot, foot. It's never both hands and both feet. Hand, hand, foot, foot. That's it. Fingers pointing outwards, feet pointing inwards. Hand, hand, foot, foot. We have to also take our feet off the floor one after the other. So now if I'm going in this direction with the left hand on the floor first, it's going to be my right foot that comes off the floor first. Let's just do a little fun skippy exercise where you take the foot off the floor, put the hand onto the floor at the same time, foot off the floor, hand. Come back up. It's even a balance exercise. Foot off the floor, hand. Foot off the floor, hand. That's what's going to happen. Foot off the floor, hand. Let's go. Foot off the floor, hand, hand. Foot, foot. Okay. Let's take it one step further on this adventure. Let's go the other direction. It's going to be the left foot that comes off the floor first. Right hand on the floor first. Let's do our little prep exercise. Left foot off the floor, hand, right hand. And it's left foot in, right hand. And it's left foot in, right hand. Let's go. Fingers facing that way. Toes are going to point inwards. And it's right, left, right. Okay, let's take it left and right, going back and forth on our square that's on the floor. Remember, you still have your square on the floor. You want to keep the lines perfectly in precision. Let's go hand, hand, foot, foot. Hand, hand, foot, foot. One more time. Hand, hand, foot, foot. That's it. Okay, now let's make the square into an elongated rectangular shape here. So I'm going to step back further. I'm going to aim at putting my hands into the center of the yoga mat, and I will have a moment here where I need to stretch my legs. I like to say in the cartwheel, it's less jumping, it's more stretching. You want to think of stretching long. So I'm going to stretch my right hand long. I'm going to stretch the left here even more. And there will be an opposition here between my left hand and right foot. So I'm going to put this hand here, then stretch both of these to make it over to the other side. Let's do this with bent knees first. So you want to stretch your hands here to the center of the mat. There we go. Let's try it the other direction. Of course, there's always one side that's easier. Let's give it a go. And stretch. And stretch. Right? So you might want to work on this exercise for a while, for a few days or for a week to get it nice and smooth so that you get the directions going properly here. So now there is no cube on the floor anymore, there's only a straight line. We're going to do exactly the same thing, except everything will happen on this line. And my foot's going to point inwards first. Bent legs in the beginning is better. It's important that you get your hips up there and that you make the landing smooth, okay? You want to kind of like handstand over the center, which is scary. Okay, I'll show you. Same thing, except my feet will land like this. One toe pointing inwards, the other one is here. I'm going to land with bent legs. I'm going to be slightly forwards because I am determined to catch my balance here and not fall backwards into the living room furniture. Okay, please don't crash into the living room furniture. All right, so again, we start like this here. In a little skiing position. We start here, and we're going to do a bent leg cartwheel. Fingers pointing backwards. Land here. Fingers point backwards. Fingers point backwards. So in the air, you want to do this. Push the knees to the side, squat, like this. Except your arms are long, but this is the position you're aiming at. If you get this right, you can straighten the legs later without too much trouble. So remember, in the air now, you want to squat, you want to reach the hands, and you want to land on your 2 feet without falling backwards. Let's go. Frog in the air, land. 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 Okay, great. So ideally, of course, this is going to look like this. Nice cartwheel with legs stretched out. But once you've got sort of the basic thing of land and frog in the air, from there you can just stretch the hands a bit longer, straighten your legs. I think you'll get it easily. Every movement is possible if you break it down into tiny pieces. That's my big message to the world. Thank you very much for watching. I have a Patreon account. Link is below. You can support me making these videos. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.